If we had some Wild West music, I'd play it now. Wow, 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 wow. Because it is. It's a straight shootout for Champions League football between Freiburg from the Black Forest and Eintracht Frankfurt, the main men from Manhattan. See what I did there? Clever wordplay that, because they're on the River Main. And it's a straight shootout, effectively, to get in the Champions League, because this is where they are in the table. Frankfurt, they will be pert. Those lips will be pert if they make it. Frankfurt, SGE, DIE Adler, old Attila the Eagle. They've got a 2-point advantage over Freiburg, but like I say, the title's decided. Leverkusen are in second. They're in the hunt for a new manager. Who's that going to be, by the way? Who's coming in to take over the vacant hot seat as head coach at Leverkusen? We did a video on that. Link in the description down below, by the way. Our understanding is the shortlist has got two on it. It's the fashionable, sexy, PR-friendly Como manager, ex-Arsenal, iconic player, says Fabregas, up alongside the experienced, the veteran, the austere, but the serial trophy winner, Erik ten Hag. I promised I wouldn't do the voice. And we did a video on that. I'll link that in the description down below, where we make reference to the ex-Manchester United coach, Erik ten Hag. Is he going to take over at Leverkusen? Anyway, back to what we're really here for, and that is this straight shootout between Frankfurt and Freiburg. Dortmund are also... they're knocking and ringing at the door. For Dortmund, the equation is a lot simpler, really. Win your game against the team that's already relegated in HOLSTEIN Kiel, and then see what happens here. So, Nico Kovac and brother Robert will be hoping that Dino Topmüller and co from Frankfurt will do them a favour, because if Freiburg lose and Dortmund win, there's a switcheroo, and Dortmund end up in the Champions League. The worst case scenario, though, for Freiburg in this historic season, the worst case is Europa League football. Which, do you know what? That's not too bad. But the financial implications between Champions League and Europa League, you know, if I wouldn't want to think about it if I was a supervisory board member or just sitting on the board of the commercial team at Freiburg, because it is, the difference is huge. Anyway, it's a straight shootout. These are the probable teams that are going to line up. We'll do Freiburg at home first. Noah Atabulu, currently in goal for Die Mannschaft for the Germany's under-21s. He could be the future keeper for Germany, by the way. I know it's Oliver Baumann at present. We also, Gonzo and I, are also big fans of Finn Darman at Augsburg. But anyway, Noah Atabulu, he's notched up 10 clean sheets so far this season. He did break the record, did he not? For 6 consecutive clean sheets for Freiburg. That was fantastic. Well done, Noah Atabulu. Anyway, it's a back four. Rosenfelder on the right, Makengo on the left, Ginter next to Philipp the Lionheart, or Philipp Leonhardt. And then you've got the two in front of him, so it's a 4-2-3-1, as often adopted by the big brain one, Vincent Kompany. It's also an FM24 Football Manager 24 favourite formation, especially of ours. Anyway, a double pivot of Patrick Oosterhaag and, yeah, you guessed it, Maxi Egerstein. He's not an ugly player, just does the ugly work. He runs his socks off, as would Jackson Irvine. G'day, mate, the Socceroo. He's currently out injured for St. Pauli. But him and Maxi Egerstein, two similar players that do a lot of work. A bit like an LA Fitness Leon Gretzky from Munich. They, FC Bayern Munich, they run around, they do the hard work. You know, that's your double pivot. And then on the right, we've got Japanese sensation Ritsu Doan. Now, I just wanted to call him out on the basis that Dortmund are interested, and they've, according to Florian Plettenberg, our trusted source from Sky, he's a transfer meister extraordinaire. Borussia Dortmund have entered the race to sign Ritsu Doan, which is fascinating because the other team that's interested in him are Frankfurt, and who are Freiburg playing in a straight bang, 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 straight Mexican style, or as in Wild West style shootout for Champions League. It's Frankfurt, it's DIE Adler, it's SGE. Fascinating. Anyway, the Japanese winger is ready for a transfer, apparently. Freiburg boss Jurchen Sayer is currently demanding at least €20 million. His contract still runs, by the way, until 2027, but does not include a release clause. And I'm flagging this one up as well because Ritsu Doan is on the assist shortlist, well, the top list, I should say. Top list is a better way of putting it, for most assists this season. As you can see, Michael Elise is out front with 14 ahead of Florian Wirtz. If you look down here, Ritsu Doan, he's on that list, look. He's contributed 7. In actual fact, his numbers are brilliant this year because he's actually scored 9 goals as well. There we go, look. 9 personal goals, 7 assists, 16 goal involvements in the Bundesliga alone. Apparently, when he played for FC Groningen, which is where Ritsu Doan came from, he'd scored 9 in the previous season. That was back in 2018. So he's a guy that's on the up, very much in demand, as stated by this Florian Plettenberg piece on X. Both Dortmund and Frankfurt are interested, and we did cover that, by the way. And I'm covering a lot of my videos, but again, we've done over 100 videos now, and we've only been going for what, 2.5 months, which is modestly. I'll shake your little claw. Checking Gonzo's claw. Anyway, video down in the description down below. It's a Dortmund transfer special, basically, where we put Daniel Svensson out front because he's just signed on a permanent basis from SC Nordsjælland in the Danish Superliga. But also we covered this breaking news recently of Dortmund being interested in Ritsu Doan. Anyway, Ritsu Doan, he's on the right. And then Vincenzo Grifo, you might have seen his name a second ago on this assist top list. Yeah, he's third with 11 assists for the season. Again, if we look at his achievements, 8 personal goals and 11 assists. So that's 19. What's that? 19 plus that. That's 36 goal involvements between your 2 wide players. I mean, to be fair, it does compensate for the fact that their strikers don't score many goals. Look, Junior Adamu's got 2. And Lucas Hoyer's only managed 4. Anyway, let's not worry about that too much. Let's come back and look at the rest of that team. Oh, we pretty much called it out. Junior Adamu is playing up front. And there you go. Confirmation that he, in 18 starts, 24 appearances this season, he's only managed 2 goals. But he does a lot of running. You know, he's come up with 2 assists as well. He's the focal point. He's up there getting knockdowns along with John Manzabini. So there's your lineup for Freiburg. And then we look at Frankfurt. Kevin Trapp, he's on the road to 400 appearances. 400 appearances in the Bundesliga. 350 plus for Frankfurt. Kevin Trapp in goal as the goalkeeper. He's 34, by the way. It's a back 3 because they like to play a 3-5-2, or this is, 3-5-1. Well, 3-5. 3-4-3, but actually it's, it's a 3-4-3. It's Nandy Collins alongside Robin Koch, who, again, there are rumours that if they don't, and by they I mean if SGE, if DIE Adler don't qualify for the Champions League, then there's rumours that Robin Koch wants to get out of town. Anyway, Collins, Koch and Arthur Thete with that very distinguishable man bun, the Belgian. There's your back 3. On the right-hand side, as a full-back/wing-back, you've got Rasmus Christiansen. He scored quite a few goals this season. And again, I can confirm that. 4 goals. In fact, 2 of those have come quite recently. 2 on back-to-back games. Rasmus Christiansen on loan from Leeds of the Midlands. Nathaniel Brown's on the left. You got Hugo Larsson again. We did another video on this week. Arsenal apparently are in for Hugo Larsson, as are Manchester City, because they're in a rebuild. They're doing their own football manager rebuild over at Manchester City. And then Elis Skerhi, the scary Tunisian, because Mad Mario Götze, he's won it all, hasn't he? Former World Cup winner, won the World Cup with Die Mannschaft in 2014 in Brazil. He's out with a hamstring injury. So you've got there's your midfield, yeah. Christensen right, Brown left, Hugo Larsson next to Elis Skerhi. And then we've got the attacking midfield too. Well, that's your midfield, but your attacking threat anyway. You've got Ansgar Knauf on the right. Again, another transfer target for Liverpool. Liverpool in for everybody at the minute, right? Liverpool are in for Jeremy Frimpong. I guess what's going to happen there? Anyway, Frimpong potentially coming in to replace Alexander Arnold because Trent's on his way out to Real Madrid. He's been booed, isn't he? Which is fucking disgraceful, to be fair, considering the fact that he's won 2 Premier League titles, a Champions League, and numerous cups. Anyway, it just seems a bit abhorrent, that behaviour by the fans. But hey, you get to use your voice as a vote, don't you? Because you're a fan. You pay your money, you buy the shirts, you go to the games, you buy the food and beverage. Anyway, you think what you want, because this, my friends, is a safe space. Yeah, real men cry too. And on that note, you can join our Discord. Yes, it's a bit quiet in there at the minute, I guess because we're still getting things off the ground, but you're welcome to join the Discord. Link in the description down below. Anyway, where was I going with this? Yes, Arne Slot, apparently he's in for Frimpong. He's in for Florian Wirtz, because apparently he visited recently with his dad, Hans. They all met in Blackpool. How much did he... No, ruined my joke there. What do the donkeys get for lunch at Blackpool on that beach? What do the donkeys get for lunch? Half an hour. Thank you, good night. Frimpong, Florian Wirtz. Who else did I read? Oh, Angelo Stiller, no relation to Ben. He's wanted, the Stuttgart central midfielder. Also wanted by Arsenal, and we've got a video dropping on that soon. Let's come back here, shall we? Ansgar Knauf playing alongside Jean Matteo Bohoya. It was his birthday the other week, we keep saying that. And they're all trying to feed Hugo Ekitike. Ekitike, by the way, that's Freiburg. Ekitike, 15 goals this season for DIE Adler. Again, Omar Mamouche went Vamouche to Manchester City. That money was reinvested, although there's a lot of pressure on Hugo Ekitike, former PSG striker. 15 goals, though, in 32 Bundesliga appearances and 7 assists, so 22 goal involvements. Where does he sit on this list? Oh, as if by magic. He is on 22 goal involvements. This is for everyone in Europe, by the way. Top performers in Europe. And here he is, Hugo Ekitike, above Seru Girassi. And technically, well, I guess alphabetically anyway, he's above Florian Wirtz. So that's an interesting conundrum. Maybe Ekitike will end up paying a visit to Blackpool, having a ride on those donkeys and talking to Arne Slot and getting some Blackpool rock. Who knows, right? Watch this space. Where's this going? In other positive news, Dino Topmüller, son of Klaus, former manager of Frankfurt and of Bochum, who have just been relegated, it's now official. Dino Topmüller signed a new contract with Frankfurt, DIE Adler, to keep him with SGE until 2028. No release clause. The deal was never in any danger, and the extension was expected to be finalised, as reported by Florian, pat yourself on the back, Plettenberg. That's great. So Dino Topmüller locked in. Hopefully he's going to be managing the Champions League. They haven't been in the Champions League since 23, so that's exciting times. And this is brilliant as well. Not only has Hugo Ekitike been shortlisted for best skill of the Bundesliga season, is in the Heroes of the Season award, where you can vote exclusively via the Bundesliga app. Go and get it. We'll put a link in the description down below. Not only has he been shortlisted for Hero of the Season, he's also made the EAFC Bundesliga Team of the Season. So if you've got that game, whether you play it on any console like us, you play it on PC, check out that player card. Look at that. 94 rated. Team of the Season, Hugo Ekitike. Clap that in. I'm sure that Pie Face will be enjoying that one. I'm sure he will. What's the form then? Form like overall, where do the two teams sit in the form table? Frankfurt last three, well, it's 1 win and 2 draws. Again, they were held by St. Pauli, match day 33, a point for St. Pauli that mathematically keeps them in the Bundesliga for another year. They nearly won. We thought we won that game. We quite have a soft spot for DIE ADLER. It was Frankfurt, DIE ADLER. Thought they'd won that game 3-2, but there was a handball against Michi Bashuai, the big Belgian. That was late on, 88th minute. That was disallowed, and rightfully so for handball. So it ended up being 2-2 in the end. Yeah, but again, all DIE ADLER need is a draw. 1 point for them, and then Champions League, but they could be up against some of the Premier League's finest and other teams. You know, Barcelona have just won the league in Spain. Barcelona are La Liga champions. Real Madrid are going to finish second. Yeah, Frankfurt, one more draw will do it. And actually, what is a draw? Actually, a draw would be good. Dortmund just needs to win. Yeah, there you go. Isn't that strange, right? If Frankfurt can draw, they'll qualify for the Champions League. If Dortmund win their game against relegated Kiel, then we could see a shifting of the guard. It is, like I say, a straight shootout on the final day of the season. And just on this news, by the way, this is for Freiburg. There's some other transfer news that Schalke are potentially looking at earning €50 million in transfers because they've got some debts. They are. Well, I'll come on to that in a second anyway. Both Freiburg and Stuttgart are interested in Thailand Bullet. He's 19. He is a right back. Again, we go to Stefan's transfer market. He's only 19 years of age. He's a right back. He has played for Die Mannschaft at all these different age groups, by the way. Under 16, 17, 18s and 19s, right? So that's what? 20. That's 29 appearances for the under 19s. And for Schalke this season, he's played 23 times in the Zweite Bundesliga in the second tier. Scored a goal, 1 assist. That's from right back. He's played in the DFB Pokal as well, and he's been out on loan because, of course, a lot of these big teams have a reserve team or a second team. Yeah, this is right back Thailand Bullet. And where would he fit in the equation? Well, he potentially would come in for Lucas Kubler, who's 32 years of age. He's right back. So, yeah, it looks like they're thinking about him as a future option. Thailand Bullet. And then while we're here then, let's do an honourable shout out to Hamburger Sportsverein. Yeah, Hamburger Sportsverein, Hamburg SV. They are back in the Bundesliga after a 7-year hiatus. Let's celebrate that. Cue effect, yeah. Hamburger are back up. Now, it's not been decided if they're champions yet because there's still 5 other teams that are in the running for automatic promotion and that crucial playoff relegation game with whoever finishes 16th in the Bundesliga, which is currently occupied by Heidenheim, and we feel it'll end that way unless Hoffenheim gets smashed by Munich and Heidenheim put a shit ton of goals away past Werder Bremen. Anyway, honorary shout out to Hamburg for being promoted, and there's 5 other teams going into the final day of this season on Sonntag, on Sunday. FC Köln, they could be back. They haven't been. Well, have they been away for 3 years now? That's interesting. That could be great to see them back. And I think the Bundesliga needs these big teams because they provide the derby atmosphere that provides eyeballs, right? It gets us interested. It raises the profile of the overall product in marketing speak there that is the Bundesliga. So yeah, it'd be great to see a team like FC Köln. And then who else is it going to be? Is it going to be Elfsberg, who have got this fantastic goal difference of plus 26? Is it going to be Paderborn, who fill out their stadium with 40, 50, 60,000 on a regular basis? Is it going to be Dusseldorf? Is it going to be Kaiserslautern, who were last season's DFB Pokal finalists? And you've probably anticipated where this is going, this segue. We are doing a watch-along as part of this season's DFB Pokal final between VfB Stuttgart with old Fritzl, the crocodile mascot, Crocodile Rock. They should play that, you know. They should play that Elton John song. It's a no-brainer on their PA. Anyway, Stuttgart up against Arminia Bielefeld of the Dritte Bundesliga, Liga 3. That's May 24th. It's in Berlin. It's going to take our breath away. It might take your breath away. It will take everyone's breath away if Arminia Bielefeld can win that one, because it'd be the first time ever that a team from outside of the Bundesliga will have won that trophy. That's exciting. Anyway, Kaiserslautern got to the final last year and got beat by Leverkusen as part of their double-winning invincible year. Yeah, and here you go. Hamburger look. This is how that game started last Saturday, and this is how it finished. Look at that. 55,000 tromping up and down. Massive pitch invasion. Again, congratulations to Hamburg. They've been away for 7 years. They're back in the Bundesliga. Wow, exciting times. But again, this is a straight shootout between Freiburg in the Black Forest against Frankfurt. What is your prediction, Gonzo? Interesting. Gonzo's coming up with 2-2. Yeah, a Desmond 2-2. What do you think? Is that prediction wild? Is it on point? Let us know. You know the drill by now. Let us know your prediction or your thoughts on our prediction in the comments section down below. Let us know your thoughts on those transfer rumours. Ritsu Doan, is he going to go to Die Adler, or is he going to go and join the yellow and black wall in the Westfalen? Is he going to Dortmund? Anyway, you know the drill. Let us know in the comment section down below. That pretty much wraps up all our preview coverage. Preview coverage got into match day 34. What games are you looking forward to? We're looking forward to, I've got to say, this straight shootout and the Dortmund game against Kiel. We'll be keeping our eye on that one. And of course, Leverkusen away at Mainz. A draw would set that record, that new Bundesliga record. If Leverkusen can just get a draw away at Mainz, that's 34 games unbeaten streak. That is a record. Anyway, how about a like? What about one step further? Use those. Want to see those fingers? Old dove from above reference there. Go and get those fingers out. Just tap, use your thumb. Go and subscribe, eh? Go on, because then you'd know when these other videos that we keep banging on about are going to be coming out. You do that for us. And always, as always, please, tell your friends. Tell your classmates, tell your workmates, tell your family, tell your friends. If you're out and about and you're in with a shout, bring them down. Bring them on down. Everyone's safe here. It's a safe space. Real men cry too. We'll look after you all. We do this full time, so your support is invaluable. Thank you for everything that you've done for us so far on our road to 100 subscribers. Enjoy the Bundesliga action this weekend. We'll be back. We'll be popping up with some more transfer news, some other club profiles. Anyway, I'll be the same for now. Enjoy the last day of the season. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao, ciao.